This is a forewarned weather alert.
Let's get you that tornado warning update for Roger Mills County. Our storm trackers, western Oklahoma. The metro, they're quite a ways to the west, but they'll be tracking to the east at a pretty high rate of speed. And later this evening, we'll have storms come into the metro as well. Let's go ahead and check out our time lapse here from Woodward with severe storms near Fort Supply now up in northwestern Oklahoma. Tornado watch till 1 a.m. Tornado warning for Roger Mills County. Severe thunderstorm watch till 3 a.m. southwestern Oklahoma and parts of central Oklahoma. Tornado watch west central Oklahoma, northwest Oklahoma until 1 a.m. in the morning. And there is that tornado warning in effect for Roger Mills County. The line's firming up. This will continue to do so into the overnight hours, traveling from west to east. So damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes are possible heading into our evening hours. Lightning rates are coming up as well, especially from near Visay down to near Cheyenne. The two areas of rotation now are on the river near Roll and Dempsey, and also just to the northwest of Cheyenne. Tornado warning there. Motion is to the north-northeast between 40 and 50 miles per hour. So a hail up to quarter, now approaching golf ball size. Hail sizes are getting bigger, and a risk of a tornado as well. Right now the rotation just to the southwest of Cheyenne and to the north of Cheyenne near Roll and Dempsey and the river up there in northern Roger Mills County. This rotation here is fairly broad, but still opportunities here of tornadic activity as the line pushes to the northeast. And here's your time of arrival, Cheyenne right now. So tornado precautions for you down towards Strong City and then up toward the river to the southwest of Visay with that tornado warning. Let's go over to Eric Dixon. He's right there looking at that storm live. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, I'm about 6 miles south of Cheyenne right now. I did see a lowering there. It's kind of went away at the moment. There doesn't seem anything imminent at the moment, but I'm watching it real closely. What you got to really watch out for is this stuff's moving so fast and it's dark, you just can't see it. So I'm going to track this going up on into Cheyenne. Back to basics, I'm just about 6 miles south of Cheyenne right now. So the circulation will be just to my west, if you're seeing it in the shot right there. I don't see anything out there just yet lowering, but I had one a moment ago, so we're going to keep a close eye on it. Back to you, Mike.
So, Eric, we're going to stay with you. So you're 6 miles to the south of Cheyenne. From Cheyenne, where was that lowering exactly, your best estimate?
I'd say it was just barely to the northwest as I was heading north, so I pulled over so I can kind of look to the west here and get a vantage point of it. It was racing off to the northeast, so I'm not sure if we've got another lowering just a little bit to the southwest, but it was pretty big there for a moment.
Okay, that's Eric Dixon. We're going to come back to you, Eric. Let's go back over to radar. And that area of rotation came out of the Sweetwater area, and now it's located just to the west of Cheyenne. You are under that tornado warning from Cheyenne, just to the west, right where Eric Dixon is located right now. He saw a lowering there briefly, doesn't see one right now. And there's your time of arrival again, moving north-northeast around 45 miles per hour, moving along pretty fast. So Cheyenne here right now, just to the west of Cheyenne. So rotation-wise, not showing much in the way of organized rotation. There's a little wind shear line to the west of Cheyenne and north of Cheyenne, also crossing the river near Dempsey and Roll, heading on up toward Visay. There is some rotation there coming into southern parts of Ellis County. Let's go over to Mike Bennett. He's in Visay looking to the southwest right now at that storm. Mike?
Yeah, Mike, I'm out here just on the west side of Visay, and I will tell you what, this storm, this cell that's west of Visay is an incredible structure. It's just like stacked plates, if you will, like a barber's pole, and lightning's, you're going to get a couple shots of it here in a second. But strong winds feeding into these storms, so there's a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture feeding into them. So that's going to keep them going for quite a while. And if we don't have a tornado threat, Mike, based on the structure I'm seeing, we're definitely going to have a high wind event and possibly some large hail as these track east, northeast. Back to you.
So we have your shot here. We can certainly see that storm coming up southwest of Visay, and it's moving up toward Visay right now. And this has some rotation with it. Looks like there might have been a gust front in through there. Lightning rates are coming up as well. Jet stream energy coming in right now. Well, there's actual feeder band there coming in. Mike, we can see a pretty good sized feeder band coming in. So I think we should probably hold your shot because you're looking right at that area of rotation with that tornado warning southwest of Visay.
Yeah, actually, Mike, my camera is on the storm.
Yeah, look at the feet.
Just west of Visay right now. I'm gonna pan it to the southwest, and I'm not really seeing any structure the tornadic cell at the moment. Just not, I don't have enough light. Well, okay, just got a pretty good lightning flash there. May have got to look at the rain-free base. It's hard to tell. It's just dark out here, so you have to have several lightning flashes in the right spot to be able to start, figuring out the structure, where the structure's at. And but right now, I'm not seeing anything as in terms of, okay, just got a good flash there. And that actually, Mike, I just got a good look at the front of the storm, so I really can't see anything that far south of Cheyenne at the moment. But that's going to track.
Just hold your shot. Just hold your shot. Let's go to radar here. So you're looking at that line. Let's go back over to radar. So here's the tornado warning with rotation. It's broad, but some rotation west side of Cheyenne, and then also up here on the river near Roll up into Ellis County, southwest of Vici. So there's your time of arrival. Harmon and Camargo at 8:45. And then Vici, Mike Bennett's up here in Vici looking to the southwest. Big inflow feeder band coming into this storm right here, and there is organized rotation now southwest of Vici and to the southwest of Harmon and to the west-northwest of Leedy. That's what you're looking at right now. Let's go back over to Mike Bennett with an update on that. Mike?
Okay, yeah, Mike, that's what I was showing you earlier with that. Well, I was talking about the stacked plates. That storm is just, it's just a big spaceship up there, and lightning's helping us out quite a bit. I'm going to change my pickup angle so we can get a better look at that. Well, I got traffic coming out here, but we're gonna track this up. It's going to probably, instead of waiting on the Cheyenne storm, we're probably going to stay with this, track it up towards Woodward, because this is the structure on this thing's pretty incredible, and it's got a lot of strong 30 to 40 mile an hour inflow winds into it. Back to you.
Okay, so let's go back over to radar here. So if you're just now joining us, tornado watch in effect for west central and northwest Oklahoma, and the line is definitely firming up now from Cheyenne northward up to Fort Supply. Severe storm near Fort Supply as well. The tail end storm here, this was the initial tornado warning, and that is now located on the west side of Cheyenne. That's exactly where Eric Dixon is located. Eric Dixon's in Cheyenne. Mike Bennett's up here in Vici to the north of Camargo there. Let's go back over to Eric Dixon looking at that tornado warned storm. The rotation is broad, but it is still rotating. Go, Eric.
Yeah, Mike. I'm heading up north now. I'm about 4 miles south of Cheyenne. So far, I don't see any lowering. It kind of looks like, a pretty flat base across there with a few small hanging tags. A lot of lightning out there, so, I should have a little bit of good visibility if there's a new lowering tries to form. But currently, I don't see anything, but I'm getting a little closer to get a little further inspection of that. Back to you.
Okay, Eric, we do appreciate that very much. Let's go back over to radar. So basically, we've got a long road to hoe because this line's going to firm up. It'll be a solid squall line as it comes into Oklahoma City, and the timeline on that is about 11:30 p.m. until about 1:30 or 2 a.m., maybe even 2:30 in the morning. So coming out of western Oklahoma, the line so far is taking its time, so it's going to delay the arrival for the metro, I think, until near midnight or just after midnight, maybe that 1 to 1:30 to 2 a.m. time frame. But the tornado warning does continue. That rotation there, still there, but it's pretty broad near Cheyenne. Motion is to the north-northeast between 45 and 50 miles an hour. They're moving very, very fast. So Cheyenne right now, and then from there on up there toward Red Star Church up there to the northwest of Butler. Rotation-wise, not really showing too much rotation. There is a shear line, a wind shear line from north of Cheyenne to the southwest of Vici right there. There's a wind shear line for sure. So hail size here running about golf ball, damaging winds 75, 80 miles an hour possible in this line as it continues to advance to the east. A lot of jet stream energy and going on up here toward the Vici area. Vici, we're talking about this 8:54 time. It's 8:20 right now. So about 30 minutes. Speaking of Vici, that's where Mike Bennett is located, looking southwest right at it. Mike?
Okay, yeah, Mike, same thing on the storm down Cheyenne, but I'll tell you what, the lightning has really helped me out on this storm west of Vici. There's a lot of, it's a broad rotation. I don't see anything localized at the moment, but we've got some really good views of it's a huge rain-free base. A slight lowering, if you see the lights flashing off of the wind farm there, the red lights, there's a slight lowering right in there. We're going to kind of keep an eye on, but nothing, that's screaming that this thing's going to have a tornado warning on it just yet for at least the next few minutes. We're going to keep an eye on it, track it north of towards Woodward. Back to you.
Okay, that is Mike Bennett. He's in the Vici area right now. Let's go back over to radar. So the rotations on the river, they're just to the east of Roll. That's heading on up into far eastern Ellis County, and it may go into northwestern Dewey County, pretty much going up toward Vici. Motions northeasterly 45 to 50 miles an hour. Vici a little bit before 9 o'clock when it's coming on in, but you'll have a few storms before that rotation area arrives. So damaging winds possible on this line as well. The line is getting larger and more intense here as we head through the 8 and 8:15 hour here. So Vici there at 8:54, and hail sizes up to golf ball size hail up there by Roll north of Cheyenne, and nickel size hail to the west of Camargo. And there's your time of arrival there on that line. That tornado warning continues till 8:30 for another 9 minutes. Severe thunderstorms also appear northeast of Fort Supply and to the west of Freedom. This line here is picked up quite a bit here on the western sides of Woodward. So just literally right there in Woodward, west side of Woodward. Heavier thunderstorms there, and that storm was severe up there to the northeast of Fort Supply, to the west of Freedom. So here's west central Oklahoma, the line more intense down here, southwest of Vici, west of Camargo, west of Leedy, northwest of Hammond, and from Cheyenne to the northeast to just east of Roll, west central Oklahoma here. Now, as far as the metro here, storms are firing down here to the southwest of Altus. This is what's going to be affecting the metro. They're way down here, down by Paducah, Texas, but they're moving at over 50 miles per hour. And there's your time of arrival. Chickasha 11:51, El Reno 12:18, and Oklahoma City at 12:40 in the morning. This is the line that will be affecting the Oklahoma City metro area. Right now it's in Texas. Gives you an idea. Those storms are moving very, very quickly. Let's go back over to Eric Dixon near Cheyenne in Roger Mills County. Eric?
Yeah, Mike. I just pulled into Cheyenne. I'm looking just due to the north. It looks like, just a little bit of a lowering in there starting to try to form up. Nothing imminent just as of yet. There's a lot of lightning out there. This thing's moving so fast, it kind of gets away from you, so you got to just really keep up with it. It's, 55 miles an hour, so we got to really keep up with this one. But I don't see anything imminent, but it looks like we might have a little bit of a lure and try to form back in there, so I'm going to keep an eye on it for you. Back to you.
Okay, let's go back over to radar here. We'll talk about the northern part of the line. So severe thunderstorm warnings here. Again, very fast motion, running 50, 55 miles an hour in a lot of these. So to the west of Freedom, quite a ways to the north of Moreland and Woodward, and the Kansas border right up here out around Camp Houston, quite a ways to the west of Alva. So heavy and severe storms. Severe storm east of Buffalo and severe storms west of Freedom and all the way back down to north of Woodward right now. There's our Woodward cam showing the lightning and the heavy rain coming into Woodward. That's a live view of Woodward tonight. Let's go back over to Mike Bennett. He's in Vici, looking to the southwest at that rotation, which is now just to the east-northeast of Roll and west of Camargo. Mike?
Okay, yeah, Mike. I redirected my attention down to the southwest, trying to get a look at that storm that's got the tornado warning on it. And right now, just from where I'm at, and I'm actually out in the open here, but I just don't have a good view. There's too much cloud debris, and rain between me and the part I need to see that would have the wall cloud with it, or the rotation, localized rotation.